noon. You want to sit in there? Yes. Tell the world that you're noon.
Is it live?
Yes.
I hope not. Good evening.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Hold on, I have my headphones in.
1, 2.
Okay, sound is good. You can just tell them. La Molina's on her way. We'll be about 5 minutes. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, is it really live?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's Mama Pasha. Mama Lena's just on her way over. About 5 minutes, so get started. We have a whole room of like 30 people. Say hi really loud so they can hear you. Hopefully you heard that. Okay, sit tight and we'll be with you inside.
There's a delay. It is. Yeah. It's like a minute almost. Okay, this is.
You know, Tasha,
Really? Yeah.
I don't know if it's just my screen, but you can't quite see the top of your head.
Yeah, I'm going to raise it a bit.
Yeah.
I think we're about the same height. Yeah. She just doesn't like it tilted up, looking up her nose. Okay, so let's see. Why is this not?
Someone says the front mic isn't yet.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard that. Let's see. I will. It should be.
Yes. No, these things go wrong before. It's really nasty.
Let's see. Let's see.
Check. Is it my phone? Can you hear me? Oh, let's me too, yeah.
It's too many streams over here. Huh. Can't hear me. Why not? Let's see. Gosh, dang it. Oh, Ah, wait, maybe that was it.
So here,
I think so.
okay. Checking out again. Can you hear me out there?
Sweet. Why? Wait. So here?
Make yourselves comfortable.
Okay. Just doing a little mic check.
Perfect. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Voice it's on.
There.
He's trained well in the Chinese system.
Yes, I know. Work on it. Bumper water first or the magic?
Boompa water first. Fill Boompa. Come on, what are you doing? Not you guys, this. Oh, where are you? My texters love to play hide and seek. Even though I put them in the same place every time, I don't find them in the same place every time. Now, what is this? I know what that is.
Yes. I can put it in your bag if you.
It has a seat. It has a carpet that goes on.
Oh, is it this?
Yep.
Like floor carpet?
Yes, Georgies and Bells have to have a carpet to sit on. Here, I'll set it on now. Just tradition. Every time I don't have a carpet, Tibetans give me ones, so they sort of proliferate. Since I sometimes forget to pack them. I'm just go in and grab them.
Do we have any brighter lights in here? They're saying that she's really dark because she's backlit. Yeah, do we have one? Lama, can you tap the mic?
It's really green when I tap it, it goes red. I have no idea what that means. You want closer to me?
If you can. We're trying to figure it out. Yeah. No hurry.
These are many pulse forms of focus. Yes. Okay.
It's because for some reason it's picking up my laptop mic instead of the good mic in front of you, and that's not changing.
Sound very. How's it sound?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put this close to you, and it'll pick you up.
Oh, is that doing? Here's the drawing magic stuff. Here. Put it here. There. Better. A little. All the interesting things last day. This is actually right. Still works too. Ancient little plastic Lego. How
Checking. Let me see what's going on here. See?
that's all. The technology revolution. So, anybody here remember the first two? The agricultural fire's a long way back, but the agricultural revolution, and that was really interesting. We're starting to make plants grow where we wanted them to, like conveniently, rather than finding them where they chose to grow. But people believe it's causing sickness, and that plants that have been forced to grow didn't want to grow or not good to eat, and therefore caused the constant diarrhea that was troubling everybody. Actually, we just hadn't invented sewers yet. But that was a very strong belief system, and people wanted to go back to hunter and gather, but of course there was too many of us, and the land couldn't support that without the fields. So people lived near the fields in clumps, and so they didn't know where to shit. So everybody got sick. It went on for a fucking long time before somebody figured out sewers. Industrial revolution was a lot shorter, like maybe a couple of 100 years. We're kind of still in it. So they're starting to come fast. After information, I think it's AI revolution, but we're not there yet. The information revolution has driven people mad. Have you not noticed the number? Always people lived in their own little Idaho, their own little reality somewhere. But there was sort of a few agreed upon things that you could go by. Not anymore. There's some really weird belief systems out there. Like there was a time when most people believed in the germ theory of medicine. Not now. There's a lot of people who believe it's the cell towers that make them sick. Or the little chips that have been placed under their skin when they went for vaccines. I mean, there's some weird theories going on. And it's proliferating, and the way the algorithms work is they show you the ones you agree with. So everybody gets farther and farther off on their own little train with maybe a few homies with them. I wonder how that's going to end. You really need to invent the equivalent of sewers for Namtalk. Do you know the word Namtalk? Discursive thoughts. Streams of thoughts stuck together that pretend to make sense. So as we all share our Namtalks all over the world, and people go down rabbit holes with this set or that set, and you get clumps of people sharing them. I wonder what the next equivalent of sewers is going to be. For all those extra weird Namtalk that aren't going anywhere, that are making people crazy. Was that just nattering long enough for you to get the mics fixed up?
They're saying the sound is dropping in and out.
Hmm. I don't think it's the microphone. I think it's the stream.
I think it's the stream too.
Is it doing that on both YouTube and?
Some people are saying Facebook is better. Yeah, maybe
Everybody, yeah, turn off your Wi-Fi.
Okay.
If you're all on Wi-Fi, that's going to be doing the problem partly. So airplane mode is a good idea. Let me do that with my stuff too.
I'm
Airplane.
the laptop sound. Nope. Anything.
Okay, phone's on airplane mode. Bit rate low. That's too many people on. We don't have a teenager in the house, do we? Any type. Who's in the process of gaming at some point, like at this point.
Okay.
You want to use my phone? It's fully charged. Say words. Hello, words. Words, words. Still not getting enough.
They said the birds sound lovely. They can hear the birds.
Llama's not saying anything at the moment. This may confuse them. Let's do the land spirit offerings. I need that'll be chanting, and you can play with the sound while I chant. Then we'll know I'm talking. Okay. Oh, who is local who wants to take them out? I need 4 people. One. I see one in the back. Who are you? Stand up. Okay, come on up front. That's three. I need four people. Who's Renee? Okay, now we got four people. I will tell you when it's time, and what you will do is to pick up one of these plates. I need a door person. Barney. Okay, Lynn, you're active. He's done a lot of stuff. I want you to open doors so they can get out into there. Go to where the spirits are in the four directions. Toss the contents of your cup and saucer up into the air to the land spirits while retaining a good grip on the cup and saucer. Bring them back in and set them in the kitchen or something, and then come back to your place. Got it? I will signal to you when it's time to do that. What is this karma with insufficient surface area? Forever. Yo malame sanjay rimbo malame chamcho rimbo malame dunimbo jamne kunchakuna Kambalame sanje moche Kambalame samcho moche Kambalame moche Chupa Kumbalame sanjimboche Kumbalame sanjorimboche Kumbalame kerimboche Jamme kunjabna chopa You day that kurse Chuku Kunduzong Bobo Doji Sampagara Pujida Shere Singer Lape Rama Tata Tusamshi Zogin Kamala Solva Ante Kamala Solva Jikang Chichalana Marpami Napdam Kalden Agula Manamla So De Ochen Lamanamla So De Rochen Lamanamla So De Kaginwari Lama Nama So De Jakila Lama So De Yandu Dang Yandu Lama Nama So De Apandu Shakira Day Garab Region Yang Sumipa Canadian server caster. You want to stop and restart? Yes.
Okay.
Caster is not pointed to the Canadian server. If you have a chance, stop and restart. Since I didn't really start yet, you might as well. In order to practice Dzogchen, you need to change something that you have been doing for eons, for ever since you can remember. Ever since you have been looking at things, thinking about them, having feelings about what you think about them, sensations of the six sense organs play across your feelings. And you tell yourself stories about what these sensations mean. The sensation in my mouth means I'm a little bit dry. Therefore, I am thirsty. My story. I interpret the sensation in my tongue as being dry and thirsty. And having done so, I drink. You can have all sorts of sensations. You can have an itch that's tactile. Thirst is included in taste. You look out the window. What do you think you see? You think you see trees, leaves, bushes, ferns. Actually, no. You interpret color and shape as these things by your experience. When an adult who has been blind from birth is given a new retina, and they can do that now, they begin having very interesting new sensations, but they can't see. Swirls of colors and shapes, but the trick of interpreting them as objects has not occurred. That's an interpretation. If a deaf person, deaf from birth, gets a cochlear implant, they start having the sensation of hearing, but they can't understand language that way. They're fluent in ASL and they may read perfectly well. But to interpret these many sounds, the sensation of sound as a language. It takes several years to learn this. So, by your habit and the training from infancy, and actually from every infancy and every life, you interpret your sensations as this is and that. And then you have feelings about the interpretation. One time, I was done teaching, people were coming up for a blessing or something. And I was trying very hard not to, because I've been eating a lot of beans lately. I think this was the expression on my face. Well, the student who came before me while this was going on was sure I was furious at her. She spent the next year doing Vajrasattva about whatever she had done to piss off the Lama that she didn't know about. Finally, she wrote me a letter. And we traced it back to that fart. Next time, I'll just let out a big one to avoid confusing people. You can interpret things all sorts of ways. Rarely is it accurate. Feelings like happiness and sadness and guilt and self-loathing and pride and all sorts of things, not based on the sensations, based on your interpretation of the sensations. And so you get yourself all wound up on that. Can you feel how you do this? Just think if you could just disconnect this all and have a bit of a rest. If you could just disconnect from obsessively and compulsively focusing all your attention on whatever sensations are occurring, including sense organs. This includes sensations such as moods, anxiety, or whatever mood you happen to be twirling on in a given moment. Suppose you can find a way to stop believing, to disconnect yourself from that obsessive compulsive, focusing all your attention on the sensations and what you think they mean, and all the stories around what you think they mean and how good or bad what you think they mean make you feel. Everything that, like, just for a little while, get used to that, like taking a bra off. Nice, huh? That's what Sogchen is about. It's about taking off the girdle of your assumptions, and you'll have a certain type of assumptions that you do, and you have a certain type that you do, and you'll have a different types that you do, because we do that. To let go of those, there's a trick. You have to shift your attention, because from the beginningless time, we have been obsessively and compulsively focusing our attention on the minutiae of our personal existence. All the little bits that make that up, our to-do list, our job, our family, our friends, our health, our this, our that. Right? Isn't that what you've been thinking about today? Your stuff. How you're going to get where you're going, what you're going to do, and what other people think of you when you get there. The focus is what is attaching you to that. The focus of attention. If we can open that up so it's caught in a point, hooked onto that, we can let go of the entire edifice. Tibetans say that should you wish to get all the leaves off a tree, big tree, for purposes of your own. They don't say why you might want to, just should you want to. Picking them off one by one is unlikely to work because they will grow back by the time you get them all. However, if you will strip the bark around the base of the tree, they all fall off at once. So that's this point. You're not going to pick it, my mother did this and therefore I have that. That's Freudian. That's not where we're going with this. That's picking leaves off the tree one by one. Maybe useful. You got to find some interesting leaves, but you'll never get them all. So there are some things that make it easier to open the orifice of your attention. One of them is your body position. If your channels are properly in alignment. What you want is your back straight. If you're sitting on the ground, a cross-legged position or a Japanese kneeling position. If you're sitting in a chair, ergonomic office chair position. It's called the Maitreya position, but if you want to know more about it, Google ergonomic office chair, and it tells you exactly how to do it. So this will support you, a little lumbar support back there. And then depending on if you've got scoliosis or something, you want to have it arranged to support you, which may not be the same support he needs. With your back supported, you want to bring your chin in a little bit so you're not swaying it. You're not like making a widow's hump or anything. Double chins are good. Even skinny can do it. Leave lips a hair's breadth apart and your teeth apart. Teeth are more important than lips. You don't want your teeth closed. The tongue lies naturally on the roof of the mouth. You're mostly breathing through your nose, but a little bit can drift through the mouth or not sometimes. Now, pick a spot 2 meters in front of the end of your nose. Spot an empty space, not a thing. There should be no thing in that spot. So shift yourself. I'm shifting this way because 2 meters in front of my nose is somebody. There we go. Stare at that spot for a minute. Without moving your eyes away from that spot, release the point focus of your gaze on the spot. You will know when you have figured out how to do this to release gaze point focus because your peripheral vision and your central vision will be equally clear, unclear. The attention follows the line of the gaze. By using the line of the gaze and by relaxing the little muscles around the eye that control the lens focus, we can shift our eyes from point focus to open focus. This will be a very great assistance in shifting our mind's attention from point focus on what we are thinking to a wide open awareness of the ground of mind where the thoughts all be happening. But the thoughts be like tiny little blips, little pixels, motes that arise and vanish in mind I mean, you no longer have the thoughts you thought last Tuesday. They're gone. You'll never find them again in the vastness of mind itself. So just let your eyeballs relax until your gaze is not pointed to a thing. Let your mind relax until you are not paying attention to what you are thinking, but instead to the infinite expanse in which thoughts arise and vanish. This vastness, utterly indescribable in thoughts and words. For all the thoughts and words are little bits that pop up and then vanish within it. It's bigger than they are, infinitely bigger. So bigger it can't even have a center or an edge. No concept can border, contain, or define it. This is your mind, your big mind. Relax and relax again. As you begin to have your attention caught by the occasional thought pop up, don't smush it back down. Don't fight with it. Don't hit it. Don't resist it. Leave it be as what it is. For no thought whatsoever, any when or where, has substance. You can make them. They will not support your will. And no thought, no any thought has duration. It is only when little tiny ones stick together that you get a thought chain, a discursive thought, a story. They will be permanent. It is the nature of big mind not to be a big dead old nothing, but to be vital and alive with the ability to think. More thoughts be happening. But they ain't made of nothing. They ain't going nowhere. They ain't coming from nowhere. But is this so? Look for yourself and see if you agree with what I said. Not by thinking at it. Feel it. Ah, sim niranjun cham chu sim. Mind's nature, big mind, is the naturally arising bodhisattva. Ah, bodhisattva, the word bodhi, thus gone beyond conceptualization, gone beyond ignorance, gone beyond lack of ignorance, gone beyond reality, gone beyond dichotomy, bodhi, sita, mind, consciousness. Big mind is the naturally arising Buddha consciousness. This vast experience that has been pointed at you in this time moment. It's always been there. All your thoughts this morning and yesterday happened in that expanse. It's your mind. It's big mind. Nowhere else and not made any other thing. Even now, anything you think of a purple umbrella. How about a green pterodactyl? A three-horned unicorn with wings. Now use your imagination and think of the strangest, most remarkable made-up thing you can, and the most ordinary thing you see those thoughts. They are the same. They are of the same texture, having neither substance, nothing to grab hold of, nothing to sit on, nothing to put a cup down on. Having no duration, they're gone. You're now thinking another thought on the same subject, but it's not that thought. The thought you thought before, you'll never think again. Never find it again. Only a new thought of what you think it might have been. Look at them go. They are the king of you, if you permit it. If you do not know what they are, you will believe every last one of them without fail, right while you think it. And every bit of crap you've gotten into in your whole life has been a result of believing something and finding it to be a good idea at the time. So develop a habit of relaxing that compulsive point focus on your thoughts and what you think is going on around you, the stories you're telling yourself, the stories you're telling your friends, and the stories your friends are telling yourself, and the crap you read on the internet. All of that. Just sometimes let go of that tiny little point focus and relax in the open awareness of the infinite vastness of semi mind itself. This is the pointing out. This tongue tube sem, this bodhi that's gone beyond, sita, consciousness, gone beyond ordinary consciousness, gone beyond the little mind, which is a set of habits and belief systems. It's a program that you are programmed by your karma, your past experiences, the shit you've done, who you think you are, who other people think you are, who you hope you might be, who you're afraid you could be, all of that. Aren't you kind of type itched by it yet? Like wearing Spanx to a beach party? Like, can I take this damn thing off yet? Make a new habit. Frequently sit with your channels in alignment. Pick a spot 2 meters in front of your nose. Have a look. Relax your gaze into open rather than point focus, allowing your attention to follow it into open vast, indescribable, big mind, nature of mind. For the longer you can rest there, the more crap falls away. It's actually even faster than Vajrasattva. If you can release your point focus and hold it open. Don't hold it open by that won't, it's like sliding into a hot bath. The relaxation happens. You got to let it happen rather than make it happen. All the tricks are just to encourage it when it's new to you. After a while, it's always there because you know it's always there. It doesn't come and go. Your attention constricts, like you're check the restaurant bill, figure out the tip. So you point focus for a few minutes on purpose. But that becomes a tool you use rather than a compulsion. And so no longer led around the nose ring. You've put your own nostril around your own horns. That's a Wangdo Rinpoche favorite. Ah, the Chempo Kunzang Long. Ah, vast emptiness, vast big mind. It is Samantrabhadra's expanse, primordial. There is a story outside of time, beyond space. Samantabhadra, that's Sanskrit. In Tibetan, Kuntuzangpo and Kuntuzangmo, male and female as singular, non-binary. So beyond time, outside of space, this primordial Buddhahood simply is. Because there is no time and no space there, it doesn't come and go. There's nowhere to come from and nowhere to go to. And it doesn't change because there's no time in which to change. It just is. But because it is not a big dead old nothing, it is alive. It is vibrant with the life force of all life in the universe. We call that the clear light nature of Dharmakaya, light by which the seer sees. If all the lights are out, you don't see. And then if they are on, you do see. So the symbol of light by which the seer sees is the vitality by which the awareness is aware. The Tibetan word for awareness is rig-pa, literally seer. That vitality is inherent in that vast emptiness of big mind. If it wasn't, it would think, feel, experience perceptions if it weren't alive. So it's obviously completely alive. That very vitality which prevents its emptiness, for it contains nothing but aliveness. And aliveness not as a concept and not divided into individuals, but just pure aliveness, big mind. It manifests creatively because it's the nature of aliveness to be creative, as all that is not imaginary, actual. So you have this Look at it while I'm talking to you. Don't just listen. Look at your mind, with your awareness. Open it up. Look at the vastness without border, without edge, with the universe contained within it, of all experiences, all time, all space. And that very vastness, not a big dead old nothing, alive, permeating, innately of the nature of the clear light of vitality by which all things arise. So you have the Buddha nature. So when the creativity occurred and arisings occurred, Kuntuzangmo recognized it as simply the sparkle of their own light and were not fooled by any of it. However, in that same moment, the aspect of Kuntuzangmo, which arises as sentient beings like you and me, were fooled and thought that that shimmer, sparkle, rainbow was something outside of it. So like a little baby on his mama's breast receives the rainbow from her wedding ring, from the sun hitting her wedding ring, and tries to catch the rainbow as it reflects on the blankets. Or like a kitten with a laser pointer. Confusion is arising and you try to grab the rainbow, not recognizing that it's the sparkle of your own vitality. You think it's out there, so you chase it. As soon as you start chasing it, you start making karma. As soon as you start making karma, everything proliferates again and again to more and more until we got all this. But it never was anything but the shimmer of the clear light of your own vitality. So this is the origin story told in a Dzogchen way. How the universe and samsara happened. So you don't want to throw samsara away. You don't want to grasp nirvana and clutch it to you. You want to, through practice, recognize that they never really separated. This is the first wrong, the intellectual explanation of the four wrongs of Dzogchen. Zangtal Chuki Ku transparently clear awareness is the Dharmakaya. We call that Dharmakaya. That's the infinite vast aspect of big mind. You've seen it. Now go look now. Look right there at your mind, with your mind. Not point focus. Don't point focus on it. Relax the orifice of your attention. Don't point focus on the idea of it. That's just a little come and go and nibbly thought. A pictal. See that? How transparent it is? Transparently clear. Your awareness is that clarity of it. All of our awareness is the clarity of it. We call that empty, luminous, lucid clarity Dharmakaya. Dan Chen everything arises from the great fivefold radiance. This refers to the rainbow light that is the sparkle, the creative sparkle of that clear light that we interpret when it hits our karmic consciousness as trees and friends and enemies and lamps and fans and things and that. That stuff. Adang Chenyele Charyang Char Atagom Derek Peshi awareness is character, the seer, awareness, Rigpa. What it really is transcends view, meditation, non meditation, ignorance, wisdom. Those are little niggly bits that come and go. They're thoughts, ideas, manifestations, patterns, little motes seen out of the corner of your eyes. Adhering lane parashok. Let it abide within your heart today. Notice this big mind. Notice its nature of light and clarity of aliveness. Notice the shimmer of that alignment and all the manifestation that it creates. And recognize that these are not three separate things. This is the Trikaya, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. The Dharmakaya is the aspect of openness, the awareness that is inherent to that openness, that is not separate from it. The openness itself is aware. Big mind, remember? You looked at it, it's where you're thinking. Of course you're aware because you're thinking. Notice that. That is Sambhogakaya. Your very awareness that sometimes point focuses on this and that, and sometimes relaxes into openness. It never was not Sambhogakaya. And all the manifestations that you tend to point focus on are nothing but the shimmer of the clear light. It's sparkle, interpreted by your karmic formations as thises and that's. This is the essence of Dzogchen, how it is inherently perfect from the beginning. There is nothing you need to do to fix it. You don't need to meditate. You don't need to not meditate. You don't need to act a certain way or not act a certain way. Because if you see this totality exactly as it is, it's completely satisfied. However, if in this moment you are not fully satisfied, there are methods. Any questions on this lovely little text before I go further? What I just done yet? Yes, please go ahead.
Dharmakaya, yeah. What's the difference between Nirmana
Sambhogakaya is the aliveness. Nirmanakaya is its manifestation. Because it is natural for life to be creative, it wants to live. It creates whatever it thinks is fun. That creativity is what causes the manifestation, what becomes the manifestation. They're not separate. So don't separate Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya. Recognize that they are the description of three aspects of the same thing. Other questions? Identify yourself with your awareness, which is Sambhogakaya. When we do tantras, all the tantras that we study and learn, we are reinforcing our identification with Sambhogakaya nature of mind, because you can only bring Dharmakaya and Nirmanakaya together, recognize their union pretty much from the point of view of Sambhogakaya. You have to stand in the middle.
So would you say that this isn't perfect? Would you say that Dharmakaya is closer with you and Nirmanakaya is closer to you relatively?
No, I would not. Because you have habitually been point focusing from beginningless time on Nirmanakaya aspects, on different bits that sparkle, different sparkles. Oh, look, a green sparkle. I want the green one. Now I want the pink one. Because that's your habit to the point of being a compulsion, we're trying to antidote that by shoving it towards the other side, which is Dharmakaya. But really, they're not separate. You're just listing towards the sparkle that you keep grabbing at. You know, like your house and your car and your friends. Sparkles. Yes.
I understand it this way. So now, me as a listener, like sit here and listening what you're talking about, is kind of one kind of Nirmanakaya. One of
Oh, yes. The words I'm using are part of Dharmakaya. The form that you see on me, which is not the form I see on me. But then when I look at you, the form I see on you is not how you see yourself. It's how I see you having just met you. You know, none of us actually see ourselves as other people see us. We all have our story around us, and what we are and who we are, and da da da. So what you see, what you perceive, including hearing this, is like a dream, like your dream of the teaching. And you will not have actually heard what I said, but what you think I said. And it always goes like that, which is why it's good to come to lots of teachings.
just like appearance, just like illusions, right?
Yes, you can think of it like that, although there's more to it than that.
So from
It all is the manifestation of the three kayas as one. You can't really separate them out and say it comes from one to the other. I'm just pushing you at Dharmakaya to break your habit of staring at Nirmanakaya obsessively.
there's a scene to separate outlets. What's that? Nirvana. Right? There's a one scene.
A what?
There's a I don't know how to see that. There's a one scene or one something to create like outlets Nirvana. Right? So if you put me in a
Think of one of those little crystal things that you hang in the sun, and then it many, many, many rainbows on your wall, but it's one crystal thing. So Sambhogakaya is the crystal that fragments the clear light of Nirmanakaya, causing the sparkle, which is the many, many rainbows of Sambhogakaya, of the clear light of Dharmakaya. I'm thinking them in Tibetan, so I have to translate into Sanskrit, because most of you don't know the Tibetan terms for these. You know the Sanskrit ones. Juku lonku truku. Other questions?
So the emotions and the feelings when exercises are during the training are part of the method, are part of
Yes,
the thoughts.
they are.
So what the
But all NAM talks are of the same flavor, including the profound words of this text. In Dzogchen, within Karen, path of accomplishment, you have good thoughts and bad thoughts. You have Gewa and Digpa. But in Dzogchen, you look at them all often enough to see that they all have the same taste. So if you think of what's the kindest thing you could think of doing, rescuing a big sparrow and bottle feeding it until you could turn it loose in the forest. Imagine doing that. Now, let go of that thought, or rather, shift your attention, open your attention to where that thought's happening and look at what that thought's made of, what its texture is. Not how it makes you feel, that's a little thing. What's it made of? Its texture. Yep. Now I'm going to try another one. Imagine finding a little kitten that's eyes are just beginning to open and strangling. Those thoughts. Do the same thing. Shift your attention. Open your attention. What are they made of? That's Dzogchen. In K-Rim, they're very different. And their flavor is very different. And how they make you feel is very different. And the results upon you and others, if you acted on them, would be very different. In K-Rim, in Samsara, without combining it. But the thoughts, not the deeds, the thinking, just the thoughts, are exactly the same. When you know this, it is very easy to refrain from doing stupid deeds. Because when you have an impulse to do it, say you know that your blood sugar has been wonky, but you want another chocolate, you also know how bad you're going to feel in half an hour if you eat it. Take that thought of wanting another chocolate, look what it's made of. Let go of it and just look. It can't bother you. That makes it easy to choose whether or not to have another chocolate according to your choice rather than a compulsion. Now, it may not be chocolate for you, but we all have compulsions of things that we would. I can't believe I ate the whole thing later on. Except for a few of you naturally super skinny guys. But the rest of us have those. Does this make sense? So there are methods to actualize the awareness of this, to become accustomed to it, so that when the shit hits the fan, you don't forget it and start screaming and running around in circles, which is our tendency. Sometimes the shit that hits the fan isn't even really there. You read on the internet that such and such, that your plastic utensils were going to kill you. You know, as you're going to sleep, you're reading, you suddenly wake up in the middle of the night, dreams of plastic utensils trying to strangle you, run into the kitchen, throw them all in the garbage. Now you don't have a spatula to cook your eggs in the morning. Hey, no, this really happens. It's not necessarily going to be your spatula, but there was a whole movement of people afraid of their spatulas for a while. You read that one too. Still got those black plastic spatulas. I checked mine. Got me. There's always something. And until you are so sure by your own experience, not because someone you trust told you, I don't care how much you trust, anyone, your teacher or someone else, and they swore you to up and down that it was like this, that's not going to be enough. You need to see it again and again. We are a people of repetition. And that's why it's called practice. Other questions?
Are you going to break down the practice?
Oh, yes. Once somebody asks me to do that.
Do you break down the practice?
Repetition. I showed you how to find Dharmakaya nature of mind, what Tibetans call Semyi. Sem is like little mind. Have you lost your mind? It's over there. You know, ordinary word mind. But Semyi is big mind, meaning that which I just pointed out to you earlier. Do you think you could find it on your own without me pointing? Because that's the first thing you got to get good at by trying it often. Try. I'm not going to say anything. Sit here and get another water from Barney. While you all try and see if you can find it without me saying anything and guiding you into it. How'd that go without me taking you step by step? Shall we do it step by step together again? Align channels. Now, you can do it without aligning channels, without changing your eye gaze, without doing any of this stuff. It makes it really hard if you don't do this stuff. These are the little tricks that makes it easier. In the beginning, use them. You may come to a point where you don't need to. Fine. But make it easy on yourself. Why make it hard? I am not one of those teachers who like to obfuscate matters in their subject. Einstein once said, if you understand something well, you can explain it to an intelligent 8-year-old. I agree with that. Simple words. It's not fancy. It just doesn't fit in words. So you have to point. Channels aligned, mouth relaxed, teeth apart, double chin. Don't clench your fists. Let your palms lie open. If you have been talking a lot or doing many things, here's another trick. Take a deep breath in through your nose and blow it out very slowly through your mouth, which will settle the chi in your channels and slow down the thoughts. Pick up a spot 2 meters in front of your nose. Look at it and unfocus your eyeballs. Or if you've been doing this a while, don't bother with the 2 meter spot. Just let your eyeball focus. Let go. Just release your lens to its natural state. Notice what you're thinking. Let's try this with pictures. Think of a large umbrella. Think of a small teapot. Think of a long freight train. Think of a short caterpillar. Think of a bouncing ball. Think of a flying bird. See these pictures in your mind's eye. Your mind's eye is in your mind. Where are the pictures? Find your mind with your mind. Open wide your orifice of attention so you're not paying attention to pictures anymore. You're trying to look at the background, the roundabout of them, the where, not the what of your thoughts. I'm going to say some words. You will probably think them when I say them. Watch them pop up and see how they are in this vast expanse. They are not this vast expanse. Infinite, open, big, tiny, center, vast, edge, beginning, end. See how these thoughts, these ideas of these words, they all occur in this infinite, open, indescribable unknowableness. Semi, big mind. Doesn't matter what you think. Happy thoughts, sad thoughts, convoluted thoughts, simple thoughts, silly thoughts, evil thoughts, kindly thoughts, all thoughts arise in mind and vanish in mind, leaving no trace behind like writing with your finger in a bowl of water. No letter remains. And the mind is pristine and pure, big mind, and you cannot stick anything on it, stick anything to it, throw dirt at it. Nothing sticks. There's nothing there to be stuck to. You can fuck it up. Big mind, semi, infinite, vast, and open, without form or substance within it. No thing, in not aware. Unchanging, always present, for it is every single thought you ever thunk that arose there and vanished there without any residue left behind. Trustworthy for any time you look, any time you open your attention from point focus on the itty bitty thoughts into the vastness in which they be happening. It's always exactly the same. If you're happy, sad, scared, angry, afraid, it's the same vastness. The arisings vary, but since they aren't made of anything, have no substance, and exist for no duration, yeah, to practice Dharma is simply to return your attention again and again to this vast open awareness by relaxing the orifice of attention so that it ceases to point focus at the thises and that's, as has been your habit forever, and instead relaxes itself into the infinite open awareness of Semi itself. So the way to practice this is to have a seat that is adapted to, that supports you so you can sit like this. A comfy one somewhere in your home. And to sit in it. Relax into open awareness for 5-10 minutes every morning. And usually get that time out. And then again for 5 or 10 minutes in the and then again when you take a lunch for 4 or 5 minutes of your lunch break. And for 2 or 3 minutes of your coffee break. And when the weather's nice, you stop at the park on the way home and sit on a bench that feels good, that you know is nice on your back. And do it for 5 or 10 minutes. This habit will familiarize yourself with this. If a very rich man intending to make a great deal of gewa, good karma, were to cover the entire earth with golden stupas, he would create less karma than a yogi who sits in this meditation for a single session, 10 minutes. Less good karma. It is the fastest form of purification if you can do it. Faster than Vajrasattva. If you can do it. Not everyone is suited for this. Some people get scared by it. Some people find it utterly boring rather than a great relief to have a little rest finally from the little nibbly shit. But if it works for you, it's probably the fastest practice there is. With Mom Rim, you will reach enlightenment in 400 lives. It is said. Of course, they don't say if you're in your 375th or what, and you might well be. In Tantra, they say you can reach enlightenment in this lifetime. In Dzogchen, you can reach enlightenment right now. in this now, which I find really cool. For those of you, this will be given in pieces over the weekend. That's the first bite, and I hope you will practice tonight and tomorrow morning. For those of you who will not be back, doing that for quite a time. And once it gets easy, the second part, which I'm giving you only in a very short version tonight, at all times and all occasions, whatever you're doing, right while you're doing it without a pause, right in the middle of doing it, in the middle of standing up or sitting down, notice the already known Dharmakaya nature of mind. Quick glance, flash on it. But don't try this until it's easy with your channels in alignment and the eye focus and the mouth position, teeth open, hands open, all the supports. It's only when you don't really, you can just look, you can just see it whenever you want to. You don't feel the need of the supports that you start doing that second one. And I only gave that tonight because some folks are not going to be able to be back, I heard. Are there questions on the how-to? Yes? Yes. What is open awareness meditation?
Open awareness meditation is when you sit back and basically let whatever arises. Without clinging or pushing.
That's a piece of this. Do that, yes. But for it to be effective, you also have to look. Let whatever arises arise. Yes, you don't cling to it. You don't push it away. But you also shift your attention from what it is that's arising to the where it is arising. Whatever you've been taught as open awareness meditation is not this lineage. Someone seems to have taken a part of it without the fourth wrong. Shine. Oh, okay. That might be a form of shine, resting in stillness. That's not what I'm trying to teach you this weekend. Although it can be a tool towards this, because yes, you don't want to fight with the thoughts. That just gives them energy and draws your attention to them, and you want to leave them alone. You don't want to entertain your thoughts. You want your attention to open past the thoughts into the vastness of mind itself. And you want to learn to relax in that. If you point at that, it's shine, one pointed focus on stillness. If you open into it, it's structure. So I think that's the difference. I think what you were describing is the shine teaching. That's more in the Mahamudra method rather than the Hatha Yoga, which is what I was asked for this weekend. Some other time I'll teach you Mahamudra. Find it online. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of teachers have put some beautiful Mahamudra stuff online. Other questions? I can't see any hands. Does that mean they're not up or people are just going? And I think we're complete for tonight. Tonight was to be the pointing out. And you need to chew that and swallow it before I can give you the next. Which means you need to find it with a little bit more ease and relax into it and enjoy it by yourself. It's really delightful. It's like a cramp you didn't know you had finally lets go. Yeah, one, new Go. Too many of the people here are beginners at Dzogchen. Yeah, enough for me to enter it slowly with just tonight. Beautiful, beautiful text. Um, I'll see if I can teach that to you as part of tomorrow. It's long day, space, vastness teaching, so it's more towards Tuku, which is what we used to break the habit of phenomena, of, you know, fiddling with it all the time. Like you can't put the video game down. This is interesting. It's an old Bon text. Modes on Gyalpo. King, the Tantra of the King of Infinite Expanse. So, supposedly he was in the Bon line pre-Buddha, about 5,000 years before Buddha, might have been 15, way back. We can't be accurate counting, but it went to one. Wasn't lost exactly, but it was transmitted 1 to 1. And Garib Georgi brought it back out and made it available to more people. So it's a very interesting Nyingma Bon text. Ngonzo Jelpo. Pre-Buddha. Anyway, it's a gorgeous text. But let me save that for tomorrow because it is not a beginner's text. So all you beginners, you just do some practice tonight, and then you beginners no more. You've been doing it for at least a day. And I don't know how many lives you've been working on this thing. So you just might be coming back to it. And it'll get real easy, real fast. Or you might not, and you'll need to work at it for a while. Me, it took me about 30 years to get it, with my teacher teaching it to me every fucking day. I was his translator, so anytime he taught anybody, he taught it to me. And it still took me 20 years to understand a word he was saying. But I'm slow. I don't expect you all to be nearly as slow and stupid as I was. Tomorrow, what time are we here? So I'll see you all around 11. Eastern, 11 here. We're Eastern. Oh, people online, Eastern what? Eastern Standard Time. Okay, guys online. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to have to do some pajoogles to figure out when it is for you. It's not standard. Are you on daylight? Are we on daylight? Eastern Daylight Time. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, which is even weirder. Anything else I should address before we close? Oh, yeah. After we close, we shut down the broadcast because that's just boring for them. Anyone who can't come back should come up and receive a blessing. Some of the magic stuff I put in here. It's good for you. Psychic vitamins. You drink it. It's gluten-free. Contains no seafood or nuts. Just in case that was a problem for you. I've seen one saffron allergy, so it does contain saffron. And we can see you guys next time. We can shut down the broadcast. I'm just moving this out of the way. Over.